Very much. Brenda Kozub from Tysol is with us for another one of our pet segments, and we're talking. Last week we had the bad stuff.
We did. It was pretty bad.
And this week it's the good stuff, and I kind of want to eat all of it, Brenda.
It looks very good, and that's just the point of it. Last week we had little signs had to tell you what everything was, but this week when you look at it, you know what it is.
Yeah.
There's no doubt, and this is what you want to look for in your dog and cat food, is that you understand what's on the label.
Right. Now, would the good dog and cat food actually contain broccoli, apples,
They will.
those things?
They will. Whole grains, cottage cheese, chicken, fish, beef.
And it's the same for humans, like you say, that you want to understand what you're eating. You want to actually recognize these names instead of these long words that you can't even pronounce.
Exactly, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, how do you know when you're going to get? How do you know when you're getting this? What is it you're going to look for?
Actually, looking at the pack, reading the labels on the packages, you're going to want to look for, it might say brown rice. So you have to put some of the trust back in the manufacturer that when he says it's brown rice, it is brown rice. It's not fractions of rice. When you look at the chicken, you'll see chicken. So you know it's chicken. It's not byproducts or anything.
So when you look at that, is there regulation for dog and cat food that requires these manufacturers to...
There actually aren't that many regulations. Yeah. Thankfully, the really good manufacturers disclose everything, and if you want to get more information from them, they're quite willing to give you any kind of information that you need about their foods. And that's where we come into play also, is that we look at what foods we bring in, and we know where it's coming from. We know they actually have to disclose the whole feed line for them.
You only bring in the good stuff, then?
We try to only bring. There's always a few that people absolutely want, so yeah.
So what's the difference between good puppy food, good middle dog food, good senior food? I mean, what is it you're looking for when you're trying to decide what you want to feed your pet, from puppy up to a senior dog?
Okay. You'd first of all want to look at what size of a puppy is, because large breed puppies need different things than small breed puppies. Okay. And a lot of times what you can do is, some of the foods out there will be what they call all life stages. So it could be the same, say we're going to feed chicken. And it could be chicken right from a puppy up to a senior. Because you think about it with your kids, they eat the same things we do.
Right.
They just eat more as they get older, and then they don't eat quite as much. So again, you want to look at what's in the package.
What about, I have some friends who they spend more money and they go and they buy these raw food, I think it's raw food diets for their dogs.
Yeah, we sell raw food also. You have to be very careful with raw food, in that if you do have little kids around or anything, like your hygiene levels have to be just exceptional, because you don't want salmonella or anything else happening. If you're purchasing a raw food, most of them are completely balanced and formulated for, complete life stage. However, if you're making your own, you're going to want to be careful. You're going to want to do research on it yourself as to how much, how many vegetables do you need to put in, as to the raw, as to the calcium, raw bones, that sort of thing. So.
Is it better for them this way, if you do it right?
It depends. I've seen dogs that, if they're very, I'll say sick, or they've got a real problem, and people put them onto a raw diet, they do amazing. Other dogs, if they're just, sort of your normal healthy dog, they don't necessarily do that much better compared to a really, really good food. Right. Now, if you compare it to like last week's food, they'll do exceptional.
Was it like potato chips and popcorn?
No, it was
worse.
Bad stuff.
That's what I eat.
And how important is how much they eat?
It's important. It's the same as us. If we eat too much, guess what happens?
Yeah,
we get fat.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to feel their ribs, like, when you rub your hands across the back of your hand, that's kind of what they should feel like.
All right, if you want some more information from Brenda, you can reach her at Tysol, Brenda at Tysol.ca for more details. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
See you in a couple of weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.